I'm sure that I've created the best inbox manager in n8n you will ever see. Additionally, I share the template 100% for free in this video, so stay to the end because actually you can take it and plug and play for your very own instance. So by the end of this video, you will exactly know how to build this entire system step by step, how to operate it, how to change it for your very own case. Additionally, we'll be setting MCP Server. So we'll be using MCP Server, our AI agent will search the web for the best information, and once again, this specific workflow will just handle your Gmail automatically without you doing anything. The only thing you need to actually accomplish is to just send a message what you want to do. So with all that being said, let me show you a demo. So first things first, you may wonder, what is this application called Superchat and why is it even a trigger? So this is all-in-one application to just handle all of your platforms, communication platforms. So here we can just connect it with WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, and so on. And we've got just one inbox for all of the messages. So we can handle all of the conversations in one place. Additionally, for our automation, it's just better. It's just more comfortable because once we have this trigger, we can just use it for WhatsApp, Telegram, Messenger without just switching it, okay? So for that case, what I can do, I can simply click on execute workflow and I can send actually my message in Telegram, okay? So I can send this message and wait when it's actually, when it's processing, okay? We've got the new message, we can see, and now it's handling everything. So it's using our AI agent that searches the web, and then it's deciding to call MCP server right here, we need to wait, and it should send for us a message to our Gmail using this specific action, so send email. Right now, even we can see we've got our messages, we've got additional message because this automation is actually active because we've got MCP server. But once again, the email was sent, so we can check our Gmail. So we have our email with the latest news from the internet about AI, which is outstanding. And remember that this is only one use case of this entire workflow, because now look, we can just delete email, get email, send emails, create draft, or even create label. But we've got another path, which is for labeling our emails. So let's say you decide, okay, right now just label for me 100 emails. You can just type it in the chat, and then it will just use this entire specific path to label all of your emails at once. So let's say right now I ask the chatbot to label for me 2 past emails, so I can send it, and then it should trigger here. Pretty straightforward. We just wait, text classifier is choosing the labeling path, and then our AI agent gives a label. So we've got our 2 labels given basically to our emails. And the best point is we can actually specify that we would like to just label 100 emails, 500, or any number we want. And this is great because this is the ultimate inbox manager, and I will show you right now how to create it step by step. But before we do this, let me show you how you can get this entire template 100% for free. So you go ahead, you open the link from the description of this video. You've got our AI enthusiast community, which is 100% free to join. You go ahead to Classroom, and then you find Christian's YouTube resources. You go ahead to Inbox Manager MCP Superchat, and you've got the JSON template right here you can download and use in your instance. But now let's set up the automation step by step. And the first thing we want to do is to just connect our trigger. And I'm using Superchat, which is once again all-in-one tool to just connect your messaging platforms. So here, if we go to Superchat, you can see you can connect Facebook, you can connect actually Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, and so on. I really like it because just imagine you can take your team and your team can manage all of the things right here in this one space, okay? So you will put the link also in the description of this video. However, if you would like, you can feel free to use, WhatsApp, Telegram, and so on. Also in the super chat, you've got the free subscription, actually free trial, okay? So basically here, what you can do, you can go over here and just provide your credential. For the credential, it's pretty straightforward. You just connect your API key. So when you log into SuperChat, first you need to set up your inbox. Afterwards, you need to click on settings. And then you need to connect your very own service. So Telegram, WhatsApp, and so on, or even all of them. And then what you want to do is to go to integrations and find API key. You can add API key and you can create it. So after you do this, you can provide it here, click on save, and you're ready to go. Now you just click on execute the step. Also, you can filter by inbox, channel, whatever, okay? But for now, we would like to execute the step. And we can send a message through our Telegram in that case. So I can send simply hello. I would like to send an email with tech news to dfacourseacademy@gmail.com. You can see it for now, but you will see it right here because it's just waiting for the news. Okay, so you can see I've got this specific message, and this is our trigger. We can even pin this data, okay? And now what we want to do right away is to provide the text classifier, because it's the ultimate, it's the ultimate AI assistant to just work on your inbox. So you would like to have two cases. The first one is labeling, and the second one is actually handling. So labeling will have the entire system to just do this, and also handling will have the MCP server, okay? So right now what I can do, I can provide a text to classify, and I can provide two categories. The first one is labeling, and the second one is handling. Handling, and I can just type trigger it. Trigger it when user wants to label an email, and for handling, I've got trigger it when user wants to perform any email operation despite labeling. It's enough. For now, we can just switch and just pick the model. So for that case, it will be OpenAI, and that's great. Okay. And the first thing I want to do is to provide the handling. So right away, what we do, we just connect our AI agent. Okay, we just pick our AI agent. And for this agent, I will have the specific user message and system message. But before it, let's click on execute previous nodes. Okay, it's great. And we provide the user message, which is this one. Okay, so we provide a body. Perfect. And for the system message, for now, you can stop the video and read it. Of course, you've got the instructions inside the JSON template. You can just download it here inside our free community, 100% for free, of course. So what we have inside, the role purpose, capabilities, tools it's using, so MCP client and search web, interaction style, and nodes, okay? For now, I won't go more in depth. However, it operates our entire, inbox thing. Okay, the first thing we want to do is to pick OpenAI. So the model to operate, then the tool, the first tool will be our web search. So we'll be connecting to some specific service to search the web, because sometimes you would like to send an email about something related to the latest news, okay? So I will show you that in a while. But the next thing also will be to connect our MCP client. So in a while, we'll create an MCP server that will have all of the tools necessary for our Gmail. For searching the web, we'll be using Tavily, which is an amazing application, and we can use its API for free. We've got free credits. We can click on login, and then in the overview, we should have our API key right here. So we can just click here, okay? We've got our API key. And now we can just connect, we can just provide the authorization. So for the authorization, we pick generic credential type, here header authentication. And right now what we want to do is to create new credential, and in the name provide authorization, okay? And here in the value provide the bearer, and here API key. So everything is in the documentation, but for now I don't want to waste your time. You do it this specific way, okay? So we can click on save, and from now we are able to use Tavily. We need to provide our specific URL. So when we go to the documentation, we can see the Tavily search, and here we've got all of the data. So we need to use the URL of Tavily and provide the search. And we've got the method also, which is post. So we've got the specific URL, the method, which is post. And now what we want to do is to go here, and we need to provide our send body parameter and just pick the specific JSON format we want to use. So I've created for you the specific format, and inside we've got the query, topic, search depth, and other different parameters. Also, what we have is a placeholder. So it is a placeholder, and in the placeholder, we use AI to define it. So I just set here the description, so what the user is searching for, and yeah, it's actually fulfilled by our AI dynamically, okay? So it is the entire thing. We use Tavily for searching the web. Now it's the time for MCP client. So we need to create our very own MCP server. And for that case, I can go here and add the node. We can click on add another trigger, and we can pick MCP server, actually. And we can do this, of course, in other project, in other workflow. However, I will do this right here. And for that case, what we do, we need to just connect all our Gmail services. So to my MCP server, I've connected 4 specific actions. So send email, get email, delete email, and create draft. And it looks this way. I used AI to define the field, which is email, subject, and a message. Right here, just ID. Right there, delete email, also ID. and here create draft, subject, and message. So it's on your own. This video is not about MCP, about setting it up, so that's why I'm not showing exact steps, but on this channel you've got the comprehensive video about it. Okay, for now what we can do, we can just delete MCP client, we can run this agent, because we want to activate the entire workflow, okay? We want to activate the entire workflow because this way we make our MCP server trigger ready to use. Okay, so let's wait for this A agent to run. For now, we can just even stop this specific workflow, and now we can activate it. Okay, we've got the problem with A agent. Let's execute it and wait. Once it's done and we don't have any errors, we can just activate this entire workflow. And it's important because right now we can use the production URL of MCP server. So for that case, we would like to add the MCP client. And in this MCP client, just paste the endpoint to our MCP server. And now, once again, let's execute this entire workflow. And let's see what happens. So our A agent uses OpenAI, search web. It should use probably, once again, OpenAI and use MCP. So let's wait a while. Yeah, it uses MCP to do the action. And now it's successfully, it sent for us an email to our Gmail. It works. Okay. And after our A agent, we would like to send a message back to our Telegram. In that case, we've got the Superchat. So we would like just to send a message. And we need to just provide the following fields. So we have two identifier. And we've got our ID. So it's all about the phone number, email address, or contact ID. In that case, I've got here the contact ID. I need to choose the channel ID. So it is this one. And reply to the message ID. So this is our message ID. That's perfect. Also, I need to pick the text. And I would like to pick the text from our A agent. That actually says, okay, everything is correct. We can execute the step. Okay, and the message is sent. So when I go ahead to Superchat, I can see the email with the latest tech news for 2025 is sent. That's correct. And right now we just correctly set up our MCP server, our first path for handling our email. But now let's cover the second path, which is for labeling. So we'll create the entire system for labeling our emails inside Gmail. And the first thing we want to do is to provide the information extractor, because we would like to specify, actually ask our AI to extract for us number of emails the agent need to actually label, okay? Because the user will provide. Let's say he says like, label for me 20 emails or 50 emails or 3. It's very crucial. That's how we need to just know the specific information. So what's important? Right now to set up this path, we need to send another message to our Telegram saying about something like label for me 3 past emails. Let's execute the workflow and basically, okay, let's provide here some dot, whatever. Let's execute the workflow. All right, we need to just set it up. We need to provide the model. Okay, let's do this. After we do this, we can send this specific message. So we would like to follow this path. Afterwards, we pin the message and we use it in further steps. Okay, and we can pin it. And now text classifier is actually choosing the path. Okay, so it chose the proper path, labeling, and we can just set it up. So for the text, we can provide our text, which is, where do we have it? Okay, we've got the body. And for the attributes, so for the name, we've got the number. And for the description, it's a number of emails to label. Okay, that's pretty simple. And why we do this? Because user can provide like the message label for me X emails, but we need to only extract the number to later on use for get emails node. Okay, so right now what we can do, we can just execute the step and see what we get. As the output, we've got the number 3, which is correct. And we use this step to the next step, which is get emails. So we use Gmail and we get many messages. So once we are here, we can specify dynamically the limit and we will be using the number from here. It's correct. We can execute the step and get exactly 3 past emails. The next thing we want to add is the filter. So with the filter, we would like to check if the emails we have don't have the label, because if they have, it's no point to just labeling them, okay? We would like to avoid errors. But for now, I can see that we need to just disable the option to simplify the thing. We can execute the step, okay? And then we can use our specific ID. So label IDs. And now we want to check if it's not equal to, if it does not contain the label thing, okay? Because if there is a label, it will contain the label word. And we can execute the step, and we've got 2 emails kept and 1 discarded. So it works. And the next thing we want to add is our AI agent that will decide which label to give. So we define below, we provide the system message, and now basically I can provide our OpenAI model. Okay, and now also I would like to require specific output format. So I would like to add the output format, structured output parser. In the output parser, I would like to only specify that we want to have only the email label, okay? Because in our AI agent instructions I provided, so we've got here the prompt and system message, and basically you've got everything in the JSON template you can access for free. However, I don't want to spend time on just explaining the system message for you. It's just a waste of the time. You can now just stop the video and read it all. But in this specific system message, we've got all categories we'll have described. So choose notifications when something happens, like when the emails is this form, okay? Use courses learning when the email is like this. Tools, account, newsletter, and spam. Of course, you can customize it for your own, so you can specify specific labels to choose. But once again, what this agent does, it actually returns for us only the labels names. So once we click on this AI agent, we can see the first email is newsletters and the second one is courses learning. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is to provide the switch option. So based on the specific label, you want to decide which one actually path to follow. And when the email label is equal to the first thing we have is newsletter, we would like to follow the first path, okay? However, instead of the newsletters, let's provide the notifications, okay? The next thing, we can also rename the output, so notifications, just provide the big letter. Then what we've got courses learning. So once again, we provide the email label, and we've got courses learning. And what's very important, actually you need to specify your labels you have inside your Gmail. So overall, as you can see, I've got these labels, so courses learning, newsletter, notifications, and so on. That's how I'm using it right here. And once I've got 5 different options fulfilled, okay, I can just continue with my email step to give a label. So basically I choose Gmail and I have give a label probably, label. Okay, so create a label, perfect. And for that, what we do, we basically create a label. So we have add label to message, that's perfect. We can just go ahead and just execute this specific thing. And now we've got actually here the data for courses learning. So once again, maybe we'll set up this specific thing inside this because this way we've got actually our variables to use. And the first thing we want to do is to just pick the message ID and here just pick the label. So this is for, I believe, courses learning. So we pick the label, which is courses learning. Okay, we can just name it courses learning. And this way, after we do this, it actually labels our email this way. The next thing for the newsletter, so we can just duplicate it. For the newsletter, we can do the following thing. So also like name it as newsletters. Message ID is the same. We just change the category for newsletter, okay? And that's everything. Perfect. And now we do the stuff for other paths. So it works this way. We've got all the nodes set up. However, right now we would like to also send a message to Superchat back, okay? So to our Telegram. So we can pick the aggregate node to just combine all fields basically to, for further processing. So we can do this way, okay? And now, let's do it. Now we can run it, and even we can disable these specific things because these are already labeled. So let's do this, okay? So it works. We've got aggregate. Also inside, we pick all item data into a single list. Okay, that's perfect. And now even let's disable these 2 nodes because they are labeled. Let's actually run it. And that's perfect, okay? So we've got 2 specific items. even what we can do, we can just provide some data transformation. So setup node, okay? We can just provide the setup node. Whatever, just do this to get only one item right here, to get one item. And after we do this, we can go back and send the message back to SuperChat. So let's just duplicate it, send the message back. And we can say that basically the emails are labeled. Okay, after we do this, we can execute the step and then everything is correct. So we can go ahead to SuperChat and we've got the message that emails are labeled. And now we've created the entire automation to actually handle our inbox from just performing any information we've got inside our MCP server, just using search web and so on, to just labeling all our emails. And now that's great because actually remember you can customize this entire template. Let's say you want to add some specific notes, you want to save data inside Google Sheets or add any other thing, you can customize it. Once again, you've got free template inside our free community. But for now, I think this entire workflow is really useful. It can handle your entire inbox without manual work, and you can save a tons of time by doing it. So for now, thank you for watching this entire material. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to leave a like and click the subscribe button. Also leave me a comment what you think about this workflow, what would you like to customize, what to change, and any improvements you see here. Because this is the ultimate inbox manager, it handles everything. However, once again, remember you can customize it. Anyways, thank you once again for watching, and I will see you in the next material.